Welcome. This is halftime of Bryan ISD football, and we are visiting with Jaimie Woodall. She is the head trainer at Rudder High School. And Jaimie, you've been at Rudder ever since there was a Rudder. So talk a little bit about what you do, sort of in general terms, obviously as far as keeping the athletes in all sports healthy.
Absolutely. I've enjoyed working at Rudder for the last 8 years, and our main jobs as athletic trainers is to prevent injuries, recognize them, diagnose them, and refer if necessary. But one of our biggest jobs there is to make sure that athletes stay safe, and if there is a life-threatening injury, we take care of that as well.
Exactly. I know we're in football season, so we'll talk specifically to that, but not only taking care of injuries that happen on the field, but most of your work is actually keeping them healthy throughout the week for the next game, because a lot of the injuries people don't see. They're not kids that are helped off the field. They're complaints that you get after the game about this hurts or that hurts. So there's a lot more to it than just the injured kid on the field.
Absolutely. So all week long we're working with our athletes, trying to get them to their optimal status, and making sure that any inconsistencies they've had at practice are dealt with, whether that's something that we can tape or brace, or just working with the coaches to make sure we are putting them in good position on the field and keeping them out of the positions that cause the issue in the first place, if that's necessary.
When an athlete is hurt during a football game and comes off the field, I guess one of your jobs is to to communicate to the coach about whether the kid can go back in, whether you're advising that he not go back in, wait and see till the second half. So you've got a lot of those decisions you have to make on the spot.
Absolutely. The communication is key, and very quick decision making, discerning whether the athlete should go back in immediately or not is always a urgent situation during a game. And so just like most athletic trainers, we have a communication process in place, and we have one coach that we communicate to who gets that information to the rest of them and make sure the position coaches know exactly what's going on. And obviously there's some injuries that take the athlete out immediately without many questions being asked, but then a lot of times there's a few things we can do on the sideline to get them back in pretty quick.
You talk about safety. That's the number one priority, as it should be. Obviously, there's a lot of attention has been paid to concussions in the last several years, as it very well should be. And this is something that you all are learning more and more about all the time, and taking more and more precautions about all the time.
Absolutely. We are on the forefront of concussion management. We have a great concussion oversight team that works with us, physicians in the community that guide us in our decision making, and it's very consistent and backed with peer-reviewed evidence-based practice.
We're visiting with Jaimie Woodall. She's the head trainer at Rudder High School. Jaimie, 3 years ago, you received some recognition from the Texas High School of Coaches Association and other associations about an incident that happened in 2011. A lot of our listeners know about it, but take us back about what happened and the recognition you received.
Yeah, so in 2011, we had an incident that involved cardiac arrest, and because of the emergency action plan that we put in place and the hard work of everyone involved, the athlete was revived and is alive and well today and is at Rice University, and we're very proud of him.
Indeed, and you received recognition for this, which I know that's not what you were going for or expected, but it's nice on behalf of your entire industry for that to be recognized. Absolutely.
It did bring some recognition to athletic trainers and what their position is on the field behind the line of scrimmage, and when we're watching the game and each play, and making sure each child does get up from that play and is healthy for the next play. And so that recognition was very special, just because when other athletic trainers recognize you for what you do, it's a nice pat on the back. But when another organization outside of athletic training takes the time to recognize an athletic trainer, is pretty special.
You couldn't do what you do without help, and I know you get help from students. I'm going to let you talk about what the role there is and what you call them, but these are a lot of students that go on to keep in training in the field, either in college or even make it their career. That's something you got to be proud of.
Absolutely. Those students work so hard. The terminology changed recently. They're called Athletic Training Student Aides, and so we'll call them ATSAs for short. And I have a couple that are in college right now to become athletic trainers. I have a former student, Shelby, who's at A&M, another former student, Brittany, who's at Texas State, and I'm really proud of them. I think that they're going to do great things, but seeing them develop through the athletic training program at the high school level and then go on to do that later in their college career is just really neat to see them do that.
Jaimie Woodall has been our guest here at halftime, and next week she has a relative, Josh Woodall, her husband, who's the athletic trainer over at Bryan High, so we'll be given equal time. Thank you to Jaimie. I'm Tom Turbeville. This is Know Your District right here on Channel 16.